Hey everybody, today I've got a great tip that'll save your bacon more than once. Welcome back everybody. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button below. Today's tip is a simple one, but it's something that will save your bacon more than you would care to admit. And that is just resetting the camera to the conditions you normally have your camera set. Sounds simple, you wouldn't believe how many times you can forget that you dialed in exposure compensation or exposure delay, or you turned on the vibration reduction, and when you're done shooting, you just put the camera away and all those settings will still be that way the next time you pull the camera out of your camera bag. So what I've gotten in the habit of doing is when I get back and I dump the footage and I'm cleaning my camera gear, I go through and I reset the camera to what I call basic conditions. So that way, the next time I go out, I pull that camera out of the bag, I know that there's no exposure compensation dialed in, I know there's no exposure delay dialed in, and I know the vibration reduction is turned off. Everything is consistently the same every time I pull that camera out of the bag. And before I started doing this, it really burned me several times. The most recent one that I can think of is I was filming some night exposures and I was dialing in the exposure delay for 2 seconds. What that means is when I push the shutter button, the camera doesn't do anything for 2 seconds and then it takes the exposure. What that does is it allows all the camera shake to die down from my finger touching the shutter release button. Well, I forgot to set it back to 0 exposure delay, and then the next time I pulled the camera out, it was to film a bald eagle. Well, I had a great composition set up for the bald eagle. I hit the shutter button, nothing happened. Well, at least for 2 seconds, nothing happened. By then, the eagle was already in a bad composition when the camera took the exposure, and I missed the shot because I didn't set that camera back to 0 or none for exposure delay after I was done using it. So I've gotten in the habit of sitting down for just a minute and going through and setting everything back the way I typically have my camera set. So that way, the next time I go out, I know exactly how the camera is going to be set. If I need to dial in exposure compensation, I know there's no exposure compensation already dialed in, so I could do that. And then when I'm done shooting for the day or for that situation, I set it back down to 0. So it's a simple tip. You just need to get in the habit of doing it. Every time that camera comes back, I clean the lens, I dump the footage, I set everything back to the way it's supposed to be. So that way there's no surprises next time I take that camera out of the bag. If you like this video and want to see more of it, hit that subscribe button below and become part of the Photography Naturally tribe.